the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Good afternoon, everybody. High noon here in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right. Thank you for joining me. No matter where you are in the world watching, I greatly appreciate that you're taking a little time with me today. You are watching us here on Facebook. You could be watching us on the YouTube channel, Aaron's Hour, on Facebook and YouTube, WWDB TV on Facebook or YouTube. However, if you're fans of Roku, download the WWDB TV channel to the Roku service. And not only will you see all of my shows, the plethora of episodes that are up there, but the plethora of choices with which you have of all the different shows to watch as well. I just made our guest laugh. I can see him in the internet green room. He liked the word plethora. If he could figure out a way to use that in his routine, that would be even better. But anyway, hey, listen, great show today. Good friend. And listen, I'm going to say it not because he's watching me. I'm going to say this from the heart. He's a dear friend. We hooked up and just meshed years and years and years ago. I don't even know how many years it was. But if you're a fan of Red Skelton, even if you're not, you should be. And you can Google Red Skelton till the cows come home and see what kind of comedy. And he really was a king of comedy back in the day. I said to producer John here, my JPEG, and before I went on the air, God could not have created a better person in this world to become today's Red Skelton as a tribute artist, because Brian Hoffman embodies the spirit of Red like nobody's business. He really is a true, good, down-to-earth guy, and he rolls that into Red Skelton. And let me tell you, he transforms into Red Skelton like nobody. If I were to see Brian do a thing, the same skit next to the same skit with Red, I don't know if you can really tell the difference. How's that grab you? I mean, this Brian Hoffman is a man among men, paying tribute to one of the best entertainers probably to ever grace the screen on TV and some movies as well. So Brian will join us here momentarily. He was wait, he's all right, bring him in. He's giving me hand signals and I'm not sure what he's there he is. Hey, Brian.
Hi, how are you?
There he is. Brian, I meant every word of what I said deep down in the heart. You know I love you. Oh, my mic was off. Do I have to repeat it again? God, you only get it once. But seriously, I mean, you know, I was talking to John, and John has seen your show when you were here in Vegas many years ago as well. And of course, the other day I shared with him the story about Ricky and not getting that one joke, which you and I still laugh about today.
Absolutely.
God really could not have put a better person on this earth to encompass and embody Red Skelton as a performer and be able to bring Red to new audiences. I mean, I'm sure the majority of your audience are people who remember Red from back in the day when he was performing. But I got to imagine there's got to be a younger crowd that's out there because, you know, certain holidays, the Pledge of Allegiance that Red Skelton did on stage, which you do so brilliantly as well, that's got to be something new that the newer audience is getting used to, don't you think?
I think so. And I'm getting a few younger folks coming to see me. When I mean younger, I'm talking like 40s.
I got socks older than
that's
that.
right. So we'll get into more about your act and what you do. And before we get started, I want you to pay it. Go ahead, John.
Yeah. Hey, Brian. I've had the opportunity to meet Red Skelton on a couple of occasions.
Oh, nice.
Conversations with him. And I also lived down in Palm Springs when he lived there.
Okay.
So I agree wholeheartedly with Aaron about your performances.
Thank you.
And just, good job, my friend.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
You know, today I think people look at the humor of cursing and a lot of the way that entertainment and comedies are presented today. There is still a lot to be said for the era that Red was in.
Oh, sure.
Red Skelton and Lewis and Martin and, Martin and Lewis, whatever. And all those great Jack Benny. Shecky Green just passed away not too long ago here. That genre of entertainer really relied on human comedy as well as characters like Red and the way you're portraying Red now. As really Jackie Mason is another guy.
Yes.
What is the shift to today where we need, not me, where the cursing and the violence and the this, when did that take over from pure comedy of just life?
I think it all kind of started out in the 70s, early 70s, mid 80s. And I think it's going back. I have so many people showing up at my theater here in Pigeon Forge, and they go, you know, we're just tired of this stuff they're calling comedy now. And we really like this old school stuff.
Listen, we can all sit here and, Guzzler's Gin and Clem, and, it's the kind of comedy that sticks with you. Gertrude and Heathcliff. Oh my God. That's where
little kid.
What's that?
Junior, the mean little kid.
Oh, Junior. That was the one we couldn't think of yesterday. So John did some magic with the pictures you sent. And we're going to do that when we come back from break here shortly. And he has shared with me that when you see it, if you like it, he is more than happy to provide the video to you if you would like it. All right. So that's a little tease. But with that, we have a certain segment called Vegas Unwrapped 2.0, and I cannot start unless you watch this intro.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
All right, Vegas Unwrapped 2.0. That is my nod of love towards Ricky Cash.
Nice.
Brian, Ricky, and I, man, the time we spent was tremendous, and that's something that John put together for me in a way for both of John and I to honor Ricky as well. As you may, I think I messaged you. He passed away almost 3 years come Mother's Day.
Yep, and I was able to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I sent you the
You sent me the link. Yeah.
So what I do in this segment is just talk about news, winners of lotteries, just some odd things that I think are of interest of people. So let's get started off with some winners, because last week I really didn't have many, but this week I only have one for Vegas, but I got a couple from around the country. So any from Pigeon Forge? Well, you're a winner if you go see Brian's show.
There you go.
Visitor from Hawaii leaves Las Vegas casino $130,000 richer. A Hawaiian resident decided to take her chances at the California Hotel downtown on Fremont Street. She played Light and Wonder's Let It Ride. She was dealt 5 cards. She revealed a 5-card royal flush off of a $1 bet to win the large progressive earning of $130,000. According to Boyd Gaming, the winner says, "I will continue my annual trips to Las Vegas." So congratulations to her.
Until she loses it all.
Right, then she'll go again. But my question though, Brian, and you were here in Vegas long enough. Yes. All these winners that I talk about with the casinos and everything. Oh, I only won $1 million on a $5 bet or 50-cent bet. How much did they spend though? All the years leading up to winning that jackpot, I'd bet they'd still be in a deficit.
Yeah, probably.
Right, it's just crazy.
A savings account.
Right, it's a savings account that you spend when the money's there. All right.
Yeah.
Outside of Las Vegas, here's what's pretty cool, a connection to Vegas. Somebody won $777,000 in a scratch-off ticket sold in Chicago. A $10 scratch-off ticket turned into a major payday. The Illinois Lottery says that the winner will take home from their 777 jackpot's top prize, which is $777,000. The winning ticket was sold at a 7-Eleven at 1585 Rand Road in Des Plaines. Now,
at 7 p.m.
on July.
I say at 7:77 p.m.
What people don't realize about places like that, when you have a winning ticket, the owner of the establishment gets a percentage of the prize.
7%.
Well, in this case, 10%, and got $7,777.
Wow.
It's just crazy. But more than 3.3 million winning Illinois lottery tickets have been sold since just the first of the year in Chicago. And we're 27 days in? That's not a bad odd.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So congratulations.
Give me a ticket.
Do we know anybody do you know anybody in Chicago?
I do. I know Mancow.
Who?
Mancow.
Oh, I saw that on your list. That's right. So you know what? See if we can get us some tickets.
All right.
Now, Michigan seems to be hot, and I don't mean because it's cold as hell over there, but I got 2 stories from Michigan. Michigan Lottery, Metro Detroit dad wins $200,000 on a Powerball prize. A St. Clair County man was trembling and could barely speak when he won $200,000 Powerball prize in Michigan. The man from Wales Township matched 4 white balls and the Powerball 10, 11, 26, 27, 34 with your Powerball number of 7. on December 30th, drawing to win a $50,000 prize. But thanks to the power play, geez Louise, the prize was multiplied to $200,000, and he bought his winning ticket online, MichiganLottery.com. So we can even do that here. Let's look it up. Will you please, John? Michigan.
I don't have time. I'm busy.
Oh, okay. Well, where's Sean? These guys. I know exactly. So he said he's going to basically visit the headquarters, claiming he plans to share his winnings with his kids. What I find interesting there is he doesn't mention his wife. I don't know what that means. He's sharing it with the kids. All right, another one from Michigan. Oakland County man wins $4 million on a scratch-off ticket. My gosh. 67-year-old player who chose to remain anonymous bought his winning ticket at the USA To Go gas station in Novi, wherever that is there. He says, quote, "I played lottery games for a long time and enjoy instant games the most. When I scratched the ticket off and I saw I'd won $4 million, I couldn't believe it. I showed the ticket to my wife just to be sure I had won. After that, it still took a solid 24 hours before it really sank in that he was an instant millionaire. Winning this money means less stress for me and my family and gives me the chance to help my kids. Congratulations." So those are some of the winners. If you are a Costco fan, then you are definitely going to be a winner here in Las Vegas. Brian, do you have Costco out there in Pigeon Forge?
Not in Pigeon Forge, but I think they have it in Knoxville.
How far is that from Pigeon Forge?
Hour.
So
45
Pigeon
minutes.
Forge. So
Yeah.
Pigeon Forge then really isn't a town. Doesn't have a Costco.
It's not much. It's,
That's
you know,
left in a Walmart.
yeah. We've got the old mill. We got that in Pigeon Forge.
There you go. And you have Dolly Parton, though, don't you?
She's actually technically, no, I think that's still Pigeon Forge. There's a boundary line there somewhere. But what's really funny is the straightest and flattest road in Tennessee is called Dolly Parton Parkway.
How? I've just lost John for the rest of the show.
That's brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, all the windy, hilly roads have other names, but the flat, straight road, Dolly Parton Parkway, what were they thinking?
I guess they were hoping to make a mountain out of a molehill. Or two, maybe. So if you love Costco, there's 6 Valley stores going to be opening up down at Buffalo and the 215 Beltway. That was approved on September 20th, where all the permits and everything were given an okie dokie. They also plan on putting a Costco gas station there, covering nearly 150,000 square feet and almost 900 parking spaces. So another Costco coming up.
I just sent you a link to the
got it.
MichiganLottery.com.
It just popped up on my phone. Thank you, Brian. Listen, Valentine's Day is coming up. Is there any like special activities in Pigeon Forge for Valentine's Day?
You know what? We are like a wedding mecca here.
Are you
There's all
really?
these little wedding chapels, and we call them the newlyweds and the nearly deads come out in February.
Because you remember from your days here. I mean, Valentine's Day is one of the biggest wedding days here in Vegas.
It
for the
is.
same reason, right?
And yes, and it is here because we got all these little wedding chapels nestled into the woods of the Smokies.
Oh.
And people come in here and they say their I do's. And
Have you ever
stick around
thought
for a
about
while.
Have you ever thought about getting certified to do a wedding as Red Skelton as Clem or something?
You know, I've thought about it, and there was something I forget. One of the Elvises here was trying to do that, and I think they've actually made that illegal here.
Really?
I could be wrong. Yeah. It's not like Vegas.
Well, I'd love to know why, but okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah. And,
I don't want you getting in trouble.
No, and I got enough on my plate. So,
Right.
but
Now-
yeah, I thought about it out there too, in Vegas,
Yes.
doing that as
Yeah,
either Red or Grandpa.
That yeah. God, I was talking about that too. Ethel M's Cactus Garden is going to transform into a perfect Valentine's Day photo op. You can go down to Ethel M Chocolate starting February 2nd through February 18th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly. Hot chocolates and sweet treats will also be available. $2 entrance fee will be charged per person, with all proceeds being donated to local charities, which is good. The garden is located at 2 Cactus Garden Drive in Henderson. So that's good. Of course. I read this article and I realized I'm in the wrong profession. Walmart managers now with a pay increase, their average salary is $128,000 plus massive bonuses.
Wow.
I'm
And
in
they
the
still can't hire a cashier.
No, they don't need to. That's right.
Managers get all the money.
That's right. My goodness. Now, the average salary prior was $117,000. The pay range for a manager previously started at $65,000, but now a hired manager is going to start at $90,000. Holy cow. It's the first adjustment in store managers' pay scale in more than a decade. Pay hike takes effect February 1st. All right, I got a couple of, go ahead.
You forget it's 120-hour work week.
That's true. That's very true. I have a couple more articles which I'll save throughout the rest of the broadcast because I want to get to Brian and what he's doing down there, how brilliant he is as Red Skelton. So with that, I'm Aaron Phillips. I am host of Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips because otherwise the title of the show would be really stupid and I wouldn't be Aaron Phillips. But, you know, maybe I could be Aaron's Hour hosted by Brian Hoffman as he shows us his chest. What are you showing us your chest for?
Trying to do something on the other computer.
Oh,
multitasking here.
Oh, I got you.
I know the feeling.
Jeez. All right. With that, we come back. Brian Hoffman with a special introduction. When we come back on the other side of break. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
All right.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Everybody, it's me, President Trump, greatest president in the history of presidents, and I've been on a lot of shows, believe me, but the best one by far is Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. This guy is so amazing. What a great interviewer, and you can catch him every Saturday from 12 to 1. 12 to 1. It's a tremendous show. You know why? I was on it, and the ratings went through the roof. Check it out on WWDB TV. That's WWDB TV. It's huge.
I sincerely hope that I haven't said or done anything to offend anyone. If I did, I really didn't mean to. I do hope that you had as much fun as I had. It's really a lot of fun to try and make people laugh. I personally believe that each and every one of us was put here for a purpose. That's to build and not to destroy. And if by chance someday you're not feeling well, and you should remember some silly little thing that I've said or done, and it brings back a smile to your face or a chuckle to your heart, then my purpose has been served for my fellow man. May I wish you all continued success, and God bless. Good night. Thank you.
The time has come to say good night. My, how time does fly. We've had a laugh, perhaps a tear, and now we hear goodbye. I really hate to say good night, for times like these are few. I wish you love and happiness in everything you do. The time has come to say good night, and I hope I've made a friend. And so we'll say, may God bless until we meet again. Good night, and may God bless. Thank you.
Welcome back to Aaron's Hour. Brian Hoffman now officially joins us. To me, that's as much a tip of the cap to Red Skelton as it is to you. And I got to be honest with you, I forwarded the pictures you sent me to John, and I asked him if he got them this morning. He says, yeah. And he says, I put a little slideshow together to do something different. And that's all from John. And it
Thank you, John.
chills to my arms here watching that again.
Yep.
So we'll sell it to you for $9.99. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that all? 3 easy payments.
That's right. Exactly. You didn't see in pennies.
Yeah.
And what I had to just make sure, because I had when I listened to it initially, I'm like, wait, is that Red's audio, or is that, did we get audio of Brian doing Red? And of course, that was Red Skelton himself. And so, you know, people have, I've interviewed you numerous times. We've had fun. I had you on live remotes at Polo Towers, and I had my dad and his significant other. Last time I saw you here in Vegas, up in Summerlin, we had a great time chatting, and that picture of us pops up too. But just for the folks who may be watching you for the first time here, just give us a little brief history as to how you got into or discovered your bit. Because I mentioned earlier, you've also done Grandpa Al Lewis. You talked about it before. I have that picture. But how did Red develop to really, that's your focal character, to the point where the Skelton family recognized you as the #1 tribute actor for Red?
Right. And it was a long journey. I mean, I started back there in Vegas, and it was because of Larry G. Jones, who allowed me to be his opening act as Red. He dealt with the baby boomers. You know, he sang songs of the 50s and 60s and 70s, so we thought we'd make a good match. Fortunately, the good Lord hooked me up with him right after I found myself in Las Vegas. And I went there to do a show, but I thought I could do a show as Brian Hoffman. But who is I? Who am I to say that? You know, nobody knows who Brian Hoffman is. So the grandpa character kind of started off, and Johnny Stewart, who did Legends in Concert, recognized me that way.
Yep.
And kind of took me under his wing and helped me out a little bit, and then hired me on as to do Red Skelton for one of his things that he had going on in Vegas, which allowed me to work on it and perfect it, because the only way to do that is to do it in front of people. I could sit and do it in front of the mirror all day long. It does no good.
Right.
So once I got to developing that, and then Larry got me into his show, and from there I started doing my own one-man show. It started off at about an hour and 25, 30 minutes at the most. I'm now doing close to a 2-hour show with no intermission, and it goes so fast and quick because of all the little costume changes and the character changes that it doesn't seem like it's been that long. Which I know Red, when he was performing, he'd do a 2-hour show.
And those transitions that you just mentioned, they're seamless.
Yeah. It's just they have within 45 seconds. You know, I'm out of Red and doing Junior. Or I'm out of Junior and doing Clam. And then I've added for 2023, I added San Fernando Red.
Wow.
That's that fellow with the top hat and the blonde hair and the mustache. Yeah. Remember him?
Yeah, that was one of the pictures we had in there too.
Yeah, he was the most honest politician money could buy.
The transitions are quick, but the one at the end when you transform and you wrap up the show into probably one of his most well-known. I mean, they're all well-known. Don't get me wrong, but Freddie, the freeloader, when you transition there and you end your show pretty much the way Red used to, you know, as you transform into that.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that character to be like the end, your encore, to end the show?
I just followed the master. That's what Red did in one of his HBO specials. He had him as the closing act, and I do verbatim what he said. He talked about who Freddie was, and a little bit of you and a little bit of me,
right?
And then putting on that makeup all at the same time, and then getting up. And I just love to hear the audience when I get up and turn around, and it's almost a because of the resemblance is uncanny. I've looked at some of my photos that other people have taken of me standing talking to people as Freddie at the end of the show, because people love to get their picture taken with Freddie at the end. And it gives me goosebumps and tingles, and it's like, that's just so uncanny.
And I'm blessed to have a couple of those opportunities when you and I and Ricky were up at the top of the Polo Towers, and you were kind enough to come entertain not only on the show, but the people that were there. You came as Clem full. I mean, I can't imagine what people must have done the quickest double take watching you come into Polo Towers that day to come up to see us in full costume. And then of course, when we saw you up in Summerlin. That HBO special, I think, is probably the same one that my mom and I fell in love with, those two acts that he does, the frogs and, of course, the sneezes.
Yes.
That was all part of that same one, right?
I believe those were all the same special. Yeah.
I mean, that really that's a special moment to the day my mom and I died. We always talked about frogs and Hershey sneezes. So
Yes. Yes.
that whole thing is special. So when did you transform from Brian Hoffman doing a show to making Red your full-time entertainment platform for 2 hours?
Yeah. Red became my full-time entertainment doing comedy. Actually, the first opening date was with Larry, and that was August 8th of 2008.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in scope, though, that's only, and I'll put the word only, that's only 15 years, right? If my math is right.
It is. It is.
Doesn't sound like a lot of time, but yeah, it is in the scope of doing entertainment and the same character for a huge amount of time, right?
Right. And then by 2019, December of 2019, I'd started with my own show. So I've been doing that nonstop. It was actually December 7th of 2019.
Wow. And so when did you leave the Westin? Because you were doing your shows there at the Westin before you left for Pigeon Forge. How long have you been in Pigeon Forge?
I moved to Pigeon Forge November of 2014.
Okay.
And I had literally no place to go and barely a place to live.
Wow. When you moved?
Yes. Nobody wanted me in their theater.
And why do you think that was the case?
Because a lot of these theaters in Pigeon Forge are like little niche theaters where they have their own show, they have their own theme, they have their own thing that they're doing. The one show that I thought I would make a great asset to is Memories Theater. They were doing an Elvis tribute show. It was a Legends in Concert show.
Wow.
And I just asked if I could rent an afternoon time slot from them, but for some reason, this little old lady, bless her heart, just hated me. So, and all the people in that show, there was a Elvis's that I knew, there was a Conway Twitty that I knew, several of these folks that I got to know once I moved into town. They were all trying to convince her to let me in there, but needless to say, she said no, and that was her. It's her theater, it's her business.
Right.
And all the other theaters, it was kind of like Vegas. I was four walling, and they couldn't keep their doors open. So I said, that's enough of this. And then I opened up my own. So talk about really four walling, every inch of it. And it was originally called Rocky Top Theater because everything around here is Rocky Top and Smoky Mountain. So, and then I got to know Mrs. Skelton, who watched me perform as her husband. And I've still got that first photograph of after the show. She was just grinning from ear to ear. And I didn't send that one to you. I should have, but I can send it later.
Next time.
Yeah. And then she gave me her blessing. And then a year later, I got up to chutzpah or whatever you want to call it to say, hey, can I name this the Red Skelton Tribute Theater? Thinking I was going to get a big flat no. But she just repeated what I said and went, Red Skelton Tribute Theater. Yeah, that'd be fine.
No hesitation.
None. I was like, oh. And then I went, well, can I talk you into coming to Pigeon Forge? And she goes, well, we'll have to see about that. And lo and behold, like a month before the ribbon cutting to name it, I get a phone call from the museum in Vincennes, which is where Red's museum is. Right. And the curator saying, well, Lothian, that's her first name. Yeah, she's going to be in town and would like to come and be a part of that ceremony. I'm like, all right, come on down. I'll find rooms and everything else for you. So,
and that's obviously the huge endorsement that really settled you in down there. Obviously, once you,
I believe so. That's really helped to attribute to everything that I do, and I'm getting more and more road shows. Along with doing.
Did you say wait? Did you say road shows or roaches? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, road shows. I gave up the roaches a long time ago.
Gotcha. So, so you've had the theater now for how long?
Opened it in February of 2017. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
You can check out that website by visiting www.redskeletontributetheater.com. Do not get confused with Red Skeleton. There's no such
Correct.
thing. And or Red Buttons. That doesn't
Yeah.
work either.
Yeah, he never got a dinner.
No, he didn't. No. RedSkeletonTributeTheater.com. Now, this is the time of year you mentioned that you really don't do a lot of shows in your theater. You're on the road a lot at this time, right?
Right. Correct.
Let's talk about what your schedule is at your theater under normal circumstances. When do you do a show?
Under normal circumstances, I do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. And now this year I'll be doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 7 p.m. I also have a few intermingled morning and afternoon shows on odd day, like an afternoon show on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and some morning shows on a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, it's just sporadic throughout the year. It's when bus companies call and say, "Hey, I need this time slot filled for something. Can you do a show?" And I'm going, "You're bringing me how many people? Okay, let's do it."
Right. Exactly.
You know,
you'll do a show any day that ends in Y, right?
except for Sunday.
Except for
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you're doing now, you're going to end up about, what did you say, 210 to 240 shows a year.
Correct.
That's a pretty darn good schedule.
That's just in Pigeon Forge.
Right. So
Yeah.
let me just share with our audience that coming up, you're going to be in Rockport, Texas.
Yeah.
You're going to be in Alabama. You're going to be the Mississippi Moon Bar in Dubuque, Iowa. Why would that be in Iowa? Why not Mississippi? Anyway.
It's because it's on the Mississippi River.
There you go. See, I knew you'd have an answer.
Yeah.
Dayton, Ohio, Lemoore, North Dakota. And of course, here's the big one. July 18th, of course, is the Red Skeleton Festival in Vincennes. You've been going there just about every year for how long now?
Since 2016. So yeah, whatever that adds up to be now.
Almost
8 years.
Are you the Grand Marshal every year? Because
I am the Red Skeleton fella. I'm the guy they hire to perform and entertain and be in the parade, and not necessarily as the Grand Marshal. They usually have Red's widow or Red's niece as like the Grand Marshal. I kind of fall in a notch under them. But this year I'm really looking forward to it because another fella there who is also influenced by Mr. Skelton will be appearing at the festival, and his name is Bob Nelson.
Bob Nelson. Why do I know that name?
Well, he's been doing comedy for a long time.
Okay. I'll have to look it up because the name rings a bell for me.
Yeah. I think you'll recognize him once you see him.
And then August 12th, you even do private gigs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man Cow in Chicago.
Yeah, he had a morning show called Man Cow in the Morning.
I remember, yeah. That's cool.
So he come to see me in Pigeon Forge, and we instantly became friends. And he's had me up to his house, the Muller Mansion. That man has so many guitars from so many celebrities in the basement of his home.
Wow,
it's unbelievable.
And then you have you're scheduled all the way out till October 20th, where the last show you have currently scheduled is in the Marion Theater in Ocala, Florida. Do you get up to Virginia at all?
I don't think I've actually done shows in Virginia.
Okay.
It's not that I won't. I just haven't had any venues that have taken me on. I've been up in New Jersey. I've been in New York. I've been in New Hampshire, Connecticut.
Well, maybe in the next coming months, I'll be your agent out in Virginia. We'll just leave it at that for now.
Okay. That sounds good. Love to do a show in Virginia. We get a lot of them that come here. So.
Oh, I bet. Again, check out his schedule, RedSkeletonTributeTheater.com. Everything is there. And again, you listen, you're booking stuff all the time. And whenever you have anything that gets booked, please, my platform is yours. I'd love the opportunity to share.
Thank you.
Upcoming dates, ticket information, whatever you got, man. I got to tell you, when you were at the Westin, we had some very intimate conversations about your frustration. I mean, you were on the marquee there for the longest time. And then when things started changing, and you, myself, and Ricky, we had some very, tough conversation about what you were going through with the transition of the show. You're not sure where, what. And when you told us you were moving to Pigeon Forge, I think both Ricky and I had an expression like, what the hell are you talking about? Pigeon Forge? What the hell is down there? Well, obviously the future was there for you. It is there. But I got to tell you though, I know if Ricky were here, he would say the same thing, but I'm so goddamn proud of you to have seen where you've come, knowing where you've come, to where you are and being the man as Red Skelton, and for me to be able to call you a friend and being proud of your ascension. I just have to tell you that you are an inspiration to me for a lot of reasons, and I hope to a lot of other people when they think about being quote unquote down and there's no upside. If you keep working, dude, you're the poster child for success.
Yeah, you were. Well, thank you. And yeah, I went down every wrong road I could find in Las Vegas and hooked up with all the wrong people at the right time.
Yeah.
But again, I was so blessed that people such as yourself and Ricky like took me in and shared these experiences and allowed me to have a voice and put me out there and let other people see what I was doing, which all of that helps. Every bit of that helps. A little here, a little there. There is no one thing that you do that'll make you successful.
Sure.
It's all those little tiny things that
John,
most people don't notice.
John has a comment here.
Yeah. Brian, do you have a favorite character, a favorite Red character?
I love doing Clam. I've been researching and listening to Cauliflower McPug more and more, and I've been trying it on the audience. Do you remember who Cauliflower McPug was?
Nope. Boxer of some sort, obviously.
Yeah, he was that punch-drunk crime fighter who talked like this. He'd been hit in the head one too many times. He was always hearing them Belgian birds. This is my stance. This is my stance. Not for long, but this is my stance. Did you see my fight last night? Did you see that? Boy, I had him scared. They thought I was dead.
I remember that.
There really wasn't a type of character that Red developed that didn't represent the common man in a way.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
it's just extra. The only character I could think of that wasn't representative of that was the commercial for the gin, Guzzler's Gin. That was a different thing. But all the names.
That was pretty common back then.
Well, I know maybe Guzzler's Gin was, but Smooth. I think everybody nowadays knows that pretty well. But other than that, every character really did was a great representation of the common person. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was very observant.
Yeah, he's observant.
Observed people. Yeah,
he saw a lot.
How they were. So even really lump. You see, he was a drunk. You see, I don't know where I've been or what I've done, but I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
So we're about ready to go to our second break of the show. By the way, I want to mention this to you. When we end the show, please don't disconnect because I'm going to ask you if you wouldn't mind recording a quick show promo for me.
Sure. Not a problem.
Whatever character you want to do, or you can do it straight faced. I don't care. But we're about ready to go to break. Is it possible that, I don't know, Junior or Clem or somebody that might be around can take us to break for me? Because my voice is hurting me. I need somebody to fill in.
Yeah, this is Junior, a mean little kid, saying we're going to take a break here now, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience.
For more information, please visit www.aaronzauer.vegas
and book me for your next event or training needs.
It's me, President Trump, here in the Oval Office. You know what? There's so much fake news that today I want to bring you some good news, some tremendous news, such fantastic news. I'm bursting. I just have to tell you about WWDB TV. This company is incredible. They're better than anybody else. If you need anything put on video, anything at all, from a concert to a wedding to a showroom presentation, these guys can do it. And they have a tremendous studio too. They can actually make the studio look like the White House. Isn't that amazing? And they do it better than anybody else. And they do it with styles. Get it? With styles. It's an inside joke, but you'll appreciate it later. So make sure when you need something put on videotape, call them. WWDB TV. You'll be so happy. It's going to be huge.
All right, we are back. You remember John D. Domenico, do you, Brian?
I do. Well, I've know him more through Facebook. I don't know that I actually met him when I lived there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Number one, voted across the country Trump
Yeah.
impersonator. Plus, he
Oh, yeah.
does millions of other characters as well.
He was
Yes.
endorsed by Trump's mother.
He was endorsed. Oh, I was endorsed by Trump's mother. Jeez. I'll take being endorsed by Red Skelton's wife anytime.
Yeah. They
Jeez
brought her
Louise.
back from the grave, did they?
Yes. All
If
right.
Trump's mother's alive, I'd be impressed.
Right. If Trump was alive. No, anyway, I digress. So, all right. So when you meet, how big is your theater? We saw a picture of it in that slide, but how big is your theater?
That theater, I've got it set up. It can technically hold 120.
Okay.
But that means that there's no center aisle. But I also know that the people that I deal with are, I need an aisle seat. I gotta get up and go.
They got to put the walker somewhere, right?
Yeah, they do. So I put an aisle in the center of the theater there. So it's set up right now to seat 88 really comfortably.
Okay. Well, listen.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, I know we can get it on the website, but what would somebody spend to come in and see a show when they come down there?
It's really quite reasonable, much better than Las Vegas. Yeah, it's just $35 tax included to come see.
Wow. Yeah, you can't even get into the Super Bowl parking lot of 3 miles away for $5.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I've got to ask you. You know what I'm going to ask you to do, my friend, and we're going to do it in honor of Ricky. I shared the story with John a couple of days ago, so I got to set the stage. First of all, the first time that Ricky and I met you, we were doing our show down off of Bonneville downtown. And the one thing you did the Pledge of Allegiance for us that Red did, and then everything went from there. But we're seeing my wife and Ricky and his wife. We saw Brian at the place on Convention Center Drive. I don't remember the name of the hotel that it was at the time, but the little theater probably housed 40 people.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? 50 if you held your breath in, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there.
We didn't even have walls.
No, we had to hold them up, didn't we?
You did, yeah. It was just curtains. It was pathetic.
Hello,
But you know
Jennifer. Jennifer from Hawaii, my dear friend. She just checked in with us. So he's going through his routine, and he brings up Heathcliff. It was about cleaning. It was about something. And at the end of the joke, when he hit the punchline, and I'm going to have him do it. So Ricky turned to me and said, "I don't get it." His skit, he heard Ricky say that. He heard me tell Ricky what it was. We lost Brian for about 5 minutes. And then when you did it again, when you were up in Summerlin, when I saw you last, you were doing the joke and you started breaking up, and I'm sitting in the front row going, Brian, don't lose it, Brian, because I know what you were thinking about. So can you just do that for us?
It was actually as Clem Cadiddlehopper. Clem. Okay. He said, my wife is very superstitious. He's very superstitious. She won't do housework any week that has a Friday in it.
And Ricky turns to me and he goes, "I don't get it." And that was just priceless. Ricky, we love you, buddy.
Yeah.
What it really is? Country bumpkin. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. What is, now he asked you about your favorite, but what is the most requested character or most requested skit? I mean, you do the pantomime with the little kid is a wonderful skit. Yeah. What's the most requested that you're asked to do?
I get a lot of people, especially here in Pigeon Forge. We're very patriotic over in this part of the country, and they always want to know if I'm going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And a lot of times I have fun with them, and I go, "What? What are you talking about? Right. Pledge of what?" Yeah. They go, "You don't know that?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. How much money you got? I might be able to learn it by the end of the show."
Hum a few bars for me. Maybe
I
can. Right?
Yeah, they really do. So
are you like, is this your pinnacle for you right now? Do you have any other, like 5-10 years from now? Is there some other place you want to do the show regularly, or are you comfortable and satisfied with where your career is there?
I'm very comfortable and satisfied with where I'm at. I love the freedom that I have, that I can add a show, remove a show, take off and go do shows whenever I want to. The beauty of America is being able to be your own boss And there's not a better feeling in that. But a lot of people don't understand that means you got to work that much harder.
Right. Right.
You got to be the first one up. If I don't wake up and go to the theater, the doors. Well, I got my wife's in the business with me too, so
Right.
that's nice. So between the two of us, we get the jobs done. I jokingly say we work with a skeleton crew.
Oh,
yeah. So, so yeah. But it's my wife and I and one employee, and we can make the business run.
So, I had a question there, and you threw me off talking about your wife for a second. I hate when that happens. All right. It's been a while since I've asked you some of these questions, my friend, so I'm going to throw the oddball questions out.
I hope I remember them.
Well, that's the idea. Hopefully you don't. However, I do have one request. When you answer them, if you can answer them in the form of any character that pops to mind, I think will make it even better. John, just give me a thumbs up for that. So I do come up with a good idea every once in a while, John. All right, here you go.
And I didn't have to write it down.
No, you didn't have to cue me for it either. Very good. Here you go. Question number 1. Who is your favorite actor of all time?
I'd say that'd be John Wayne. I love watching those old movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite actress of all time?
Wow. That's tough. I love Carol Burnett, the comedy that she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, moving forward,
Sorry, I'm not doing all these voices very good at that spur of the moment. It's my voice coming through.
I don't want those voices. I want one of Red's characters to answer. Let's do them that way. It'd be easier for you.
All right.
What is your favorite music genre?
It's always been rock and roll.
Okay. You're driving in your car in Pigeon Forge. If you have cars down there, John would probably say.
On a flat road.
On a flat road. You're at a red light.
Yeah.
Nobody's around. Well, you have people pulling up next to you. Your favorite rock and roll song comes on the radio. You start doing your own form of karaoke to what song?
Oh, it'd have to be Bob Seger's Old Time Rock and Roll.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a good one.
That's classic. A lot of Bob Seger. That was one of my favorites. Silver Bullet Band. I had that on that track.
Against the Wind, all those great songs. I love that album back in the day.
Turn the page. Yeah.
All right. Here's the next question for whoever comes to mind in terms of the character that would like to answer.
Okay.
What is your favorite movie of all time? So that when it is on whatever channel you're going to watch it, you sit down with your wife, you pop popcorn, you grab your favorite adult beverage. You don't want to be bothered for up to 3 hours watching what movie?
Gee, the movie takes 3 hours. I'm not even that slow. The only 3-hour movie I know is Titanic, and we all know the ending there. So,
and we all sat through it for all 3 hours too.
Dude, is that ship ever going to sink?
Oh my gosh. Is Titanic your favorite movie?
I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but it's definitely falling. We're cracking ourselves up with this.
We are.
Favorite movie? Oh, I just love used cars. I've lived that life. Kurt Russell, used cars, and the hanging judge, Al Lewis.
Oh yes. Wow. Okay.
And Blazing Saddles.
Oh, there's another classic. My gosh.
Yes. You want to be offended? Watch Blazing Saddles.
Go ahead, John.
Snowflakes are melting all over the country watching that.
Could you imagine Red Skelton in Blazing Saddles?
Oh, yes.
What role would do you think he would have played if he was cast in that movie?
Hedley Lamar.
Well, either that or the old cowboy person, as like Deadeye.
Oh, you talking about Gene Wilder's character?
Not Gene Wilder's. No, the guy who's standing out there going, "The sheriff's a nerd."
Oh. All right.
What did he say? The sheriff is near.
Favorite all-time vacation spot that you want to go to someday?
As junior, he went to Hawaii, so I think I'd like to go to Hawaii sometime. I heard they had a fire sale not too long ago.
Oh. Send your email. We've just been canceled. Thank you, everybody.
I'm sorry.
Oh my Lord! Like, so much.
Yeah.
Be watching this show.
Are you going to be hiring? Because I'm going to be off the air in about 10 minutes. We're good there, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
You're gonna think of all the emails you're going to be getting.
No, send your emails to Brian Hoffman at Red Skelton Tribute Theater. Jennifer, right, care of Dolly Parton. If you have two mountains to get over. Jennifer,
See, that's where my sick sense of humor goes. I can't
listen,
help myself.
Without six, you're in the right show. You know that for that stuff.
Yeah.
Jennifer McCord lives in Hawaii, so maybe she'll give you some hints. And
Yeah.
oh, she left. Well, probably. I would.
After hearing that, I'd leave.
Right,
you.
exactly. If money were no object, assuming you don't already have this, what is your favorite all-time vehicle that you would love to have in your possession?
I've already got it. It's that
What is-
Chrysler 300.
There you go. There you go. Very good.
And I got it shortly after I moved out here because the good Lord made a deer run in front of my other car and total it. And then,
Jeez.
and then I'm like, so I had to leave it abandoned in Pennsylvania. And
They found.
and I had to do a rent-a-car one way, which is outrageous. And then I got back to Pigeon Forge and said, you know what, I'm just going to search out. And I found it. It was a couple years old, only had about 30,000 miles on it, and I still drive it today.
All right.
It's been the best car I've ever owned. Nothing's gone wrong, really.
I want my next question. I want to hear from Heathcliff on this one.
Oh, yes. Here it is.
Heathcliff, tell me what your favorite meal each day is from top to bottom, starting with maybe an appetizer.
It'd be worms.
How about your main dish?
More worms.
More worms. Dessert?
Yes. Once in a while, I get a snake in there, I think. You know? Or some washed up seashells on the seashore.
Has Heathcliff flown over to White House lately, by the way?
He has. And the fact that he said, this one's on the house. Yeah. You know, I actually got to perform in Washington, D.C.
Did you really?
I got to perform at the White House, and I did Clem Kadiddlehopper, and the president took it personal.
I was going to say, when you
must have been the hair.
must have.
Do you want to know what's funny? That's a 40-plus-year-old joke.
When you said you played in Washington, I thought maybe on the sidewalk or something. I wasn't sure they'd let you in. So,
yeah.
All right.
I think the president is for that marijuana stuff. I overheard him say he was going to have a joint session with Congress.
Oh my gosh. Where did I lose control? Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Lose control.
You said, "Who are you?" and you want to come in on my show?
Exactly right. Well, that's okay. I'll lose control to Brian Hoffman anytime. That's fine by me. All right, couple more questions to let you off the hook. Number one, if a movie were made about you, who do you want to see star as you?
Oh, me.
It can be
myself. I noticed I didn't put the word "with" in there.
Well, we would have
That
beeped
was too fast for some of you, wasn't it? You're still thinking about that one.
No, I got it. We would have beeped it. If we heard it on time, we would have beeped it.
So,
No, beep. No, beep.
woo. Yeah.
Who's your stand-in actor?
Boy, Steven Seagal.
What?
Oh, I could see the resemblance. All right, that's what you want to go with. It's your guess.
There you go. Yeah. Well, everybody else, like Peter Boyle and Al Lewis, are dead.
That's true. You used to.
Peter Boyle would have been perfect.
I was going to say.
Wouldn't he? Yeah.
Did you used to do something for Ask Peter or not?
No, I just would use that in my comedy routine.
Gotcha.
And I would joke and say, actually, that actually sounds something you'd hear in a doctor's office after visiting Las Vegas. I got Peter Boyle.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Now he has to do the Frankenstein monster in his act. That's Peter Boyle.
As Brian doing Red Skelton doing Peter Boyle as Frankenstein.
Right.
Oh my.
Yeah. Put on the ridge.
We can cut that clip out anytime we want to, can't we?
There you go. Yeah. You're going to be doing a lot of editing here.
Yes. That's live, baby. Whatever goes out.
Oh, boy.
We're SOL. All right. A couple more questions.
Throw it on loop.
What? No, no loop. Couple more, and I'll let you off the hook. Who is? I'm going to go back to Junior on this one. Who is Junior's favorite superhero?
Ooh, the Mighty Mouse.
Here I come to save the day.
That's a good one. Why Mighty Mouse, Junior?
Well, he's like Superman, but he's a mouse.
All right, well, that's pretty easy. Okay, I buy that. I used to love that. I lived here.
Mice are my favorite. They don't take a bath. They don't brush their teeth. They don't have to listen to their parents. That's my favorite kind of pet.
There you go. All right, Brian, last question. You can answer it any way you want to in any form. When the day comes that you, sir, are standing at the gates of the pearly heaven and the maitre d' is standing there welcoming you, what is it you'd like to hear the maitre d' say upon your entrance?
You have been absolved. All those sins have been forgiven. I think I'm going to have a lot of questions I'm going to have to answer.
Best part is you get to answer them any way that you want to.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I would just welcome. Well done, my faithful servant.
Would you like? So I'm going to take that question. I'm going to extend it.
Sure.
What if Red Skelton was the maitre d' to welcome you in? What would you like to hear?
I would like him to say that he's been in heaven doing a great impersonation of Brian Hoffman.
That's.
I've been waiting for you.
I've been waiting for you. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. One of these. Who do you think you are?
I have a funny feeling that would never happen. Brian, great catching up with you. I can't tell you how great this is to spend time with you and to see your face and your humor and to know how successful you continue to be down there in Pigeon Forge.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And I felt Ricky was here right with us.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. He's here watching. Yeah. All right. Don't go anywhere when we sign off, please. So
I'll be right here.
I'm going to remind everybody, thank you for watching. I don't honestly remember who the heck's my guest for next week because my guest schedules seem to keep changing. But if I can quickly scan through, if we have enough time, do I have anybody on the schedule? I have nobody on the schedule for next Saturday. Brian, what are you doing next Saturday? No, just kidding.
Actually, I'm in Texas doing 2 shows. They're both sold out.
Now, we'll just watch my social media for my guests for next week at 12 o'clock as always. Listen, thank everybody for watching. If you want to laugh with good-natured humor, please share this show with everybody that you know. Get it out there. And then, of course, visit Brian's website to check out what he's got going on, RedSkeltonTributeTheater.com. Do you have souvenirs or anything on the site, too, people can buy?
I don't have any on the site.
No?
I do sell them in the theater. I've got T-shirts and stuff like that. But, I just haven't decided to take that step.
Okay. No worries. I'd spend a lot of money on there. So if you don't want my money, so be it.
It's okay. Go to the museum and buy their memorabilia, which is where I get a lot of the stuff from. They got a better array, and it actually helps to keep the museum alive, which I think will help keep alive.
Fair enough. I will do that. I'll check it out. All right. Everybody, thank you for watching. Enjoy. If you're a wrestling fan, enjoy Royal Rumble tonight. If you're a football fan, enjoy the conference championships tomorrow heading into the World Series. Jesus Christ, Brian's got me all messed up. Into the Super Bowl in 2 weeks here in Las Vegas. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody. Why? Because we're all we have. We'll see you next week right here in Aaron's Hour. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
I sincerely hope that I haven't said or done anything to offend anyone. If I did, I really didn't mean to. I do hope that you had as much fun as I had. It's really a lot of fun to try and make people laugh. I personally believe that each and every one of us was put here for a purpose. That's to build and not to destroy. And if by chance someday you're not feeling well, and you should remember some silly little thing that I've said or done, and it brings back a smile to your face or a chuckle to your heart, then my purpose has been served for my fellow man. May I wish you all continued success, and God bless. Good night. Thank you.
The time has come to say good night. My, how time does fly. We've had a laugh, perhaps a tear, and now we hear goodbye. I really hate to say goodnight, for times like these are few. I wish you love and happiness in everything you do. The time has come to say goodnight, and I hope I've made a friend And so we'll say, may God bless until we meet again. Good night, and may God bless.